Hello everyone, and welcome to the Ultimate Support Veteran build. I'm actually really happy that one of you took interest into this build because it's one of the most interesting ones that has a lot of hidden mechanics behind the hood that I wanted to explain. Because these explanations that I'm gonna give, they will also benefit you in terms of understanding the game better in general overall, not just for this build. Alright, so I showed you the weapons and the talents, and now let me explain. So first of all, you probably see the Assault Chainsword, and you're asking, why How Justice? This is dog shit, and I agree. However, the Assault Chainsword is actually one of the best weapons. Wait, actually, the best weapon, after the Eviscerator, of course, for destroying captain shields. So let's imagine this guy's a captain. If you hit him with an empowered heavy attack while he has a shield, around half, a little bit less than half of his shield will be destroyed by this weapon and by one swing alone. And then you need to obviously have a few teammates to help you with the rest. But generally, you can literally solo the captain shields with just this one weapon. All you need is 3 of these strikes. So why this is extremely powerful and why I've included it in this build, for a couple of reasons which I'll explain now. In my games, I've often noticed that almost no zealots come with the Eviscerator. Nobody uses that weapon. And no one also uses the chainswords as well. Even though most of the classes have the option to use them. Arbites have the option, Psychers have the option, Veterans have the option. Only the Ogrins and maybe the Hivescum don't have this option. And what this does is that it makes captains extremely long and hard to deal with. Whether they be just normal captains or the twins. Because if you don't have a chainsword, you're going to be whacking at the captain shield for an extremely long time. And the game is designed in such a way that it continuously non-stop spawns, almost non-stop spawns hordes while the captain is alive. Because he's the captain of the army. So the army is going to protect him, yeah? So by having one of these chainswords, you're able to very quickly deal with the captains and not have this extremely prolonged fight with a ton of hordes. And the captains are generally very weak by themselves. If there are no hordes, which there are always hordes, then they actually can't do much unless they have a sword. Then I see a lot of new players die to them. But generally, captains are very weak as a single unit, and the strongest part about them is the shield, which forces you to have an extremely prolonged fight while tons of hordes are rushing you. So now you have a solution to that. You just whack the captain 3 times if you're solo whacking the captain for whatever reason, and his shield will pop. And after that, again, when his shield has popped, if you hit him with the empowered heavy attack, it will take out all the health that is usually given to you for you to take, because like there's a maximum amount of HP you take after breaking the shield, and then the shield comes back online unless it's the twins. So once the shield is broken, you just hit him again with an empowered heavy attack, and you will not only just destroy all the health that is given before the shield comes back, but you will also take some of the shield that comes back, making the fight very easy. And why I've included this specific weapon in this specific build is because you're never going to be using this unless it's a captain. Literally. Because you can horde clear with the Recon Lasgun. Now, let me explain a little bit more about the build now. So, the build is extremely ammo efficient. So, keep an eye on the ammo on the bottom right, and you will see that I'm not spending almost any ammo while shooting. And I'm shooting a lot. These are a lot of bullets, but it's not counting them. Now, why is that? Because of this little cool passive, the Shock Trooper, which makes critical hits with the Lasgun consume no ammo. And you have the Deadshot, which increases your critical chance by 25%, and you also have the opening salvo, which gives you another 10% crit chance. So you're basically almost always critting and wasting no ammo, which makes this the perfect ultimate veteran support build, because you are no longer that disgusting ammo hoarding veteran that every team hates. Now you can actually run this, and your Zealot with the Flamer, or your Arbite with the shotgun, or maybe your Ogren, who is running my Gunlugger Ogren build and needs all the ammo to literally carry you through the whole map by killing everything, including bosses. They're gonna be able to take all the ammo, because I've run this build many times in Havoc 40, where the ammo is very sparse, and I find myself taking maybe 2 of these and, let's say, 1 of those bigger ammo satchels, and that's all I need for the whole run, for me to never go even close to red ammo. Now, how do you do this though? So, as you can see, I've added +2 stamina here and +3 stamina here, because this little node here, it consumes stamina every time you fire your gun, or while you're just aiming with your weapon, like aiming down the sights. See, the stamina is draining. So what you want to be doing is shooting non-stop while you have stamina, and then once you don't have stamina, if you are pressed to shoot because there's hordes and you gotta kill stuff, then you just continue shooting like this without aiming down the sight while your stamina regens. After your stamina has regened, then you can start again, and you will be again using almost no ammo, while dealing very good damage to anything in the map as well. Now, another trick you need to be conscious about doing is that this little passive here, it only works while you are in your first 20% of the ammo in the clip. So that means when your ammo, again look at to the down right, when your ammo reaches 80, so we're shooting, and now it's 80-76. Now you want to reload, because you've spent 20% of your ammo, and this keeps this little passive always active. And this is very convenient with this specific weapon, because the ammo reload speed is extremely fast. So you can keep doing this even while in combat, and you will generally be always having these crits non-stop poking at the cost of just reloading for a second and then continuing. Now obviously you can't always do this, because in Havoc 40 things get chaotic and you might have to maybe dodge like this, some shooters, slide kill things and stuff like that. So you will be wasting sometimes some ammo, but even then I have never found myself needing to take more than 2 of these and 1 of the satchels in the whole map. So this is an extremely ammo efficient build, which allows your team to collect all the ammo and have their guns non-stop firing, which allows them to essentially play their class to the most optimal potential. And generally, other classes like the Ogre and the Arbite, if you've seen the Arbite builds, and even the Zealot, they actually have pretty strong ranged weapons. It's just that they don't always have the ammo to use them non-stop like a veteran. And with other veteran builds, you should be taking the ammo, because there are a lot of talents that boost your damage. But as you can see, I've actually skipped taking all of these talents that can potentially boost my damage, and instead have taken all the... You don't need this, actually. Wait. Oh, damn it. Right. You don't need this. Yeah, you can do this. Right. You can essentially... So yeah, like I was saying, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, I haven't taken any of these damage increasing essential for most veteran builds nodes. Why? Well, let me explain. This is one of the interesting parts. Because the Lasgun has an extremely low base damage. So that means if I take this, well, it means it will increase my damage by around 10 or 20 damage per shot. If I take this, it will increase my damage by around 30, and it's just not worth it. It's much more worth it to have crits on this weapon, because you're proccing your burn, and generally with this weapon, crits are huge. They're 2x your normal damage. So, wait, are they 2x exactly? Maybe they're even more. Okay, so they're slightly less, but it's still a good crit ratio. There's almost nothing that does 2x or more. So, yeah, what you really want to be doing is, because of the base damage is so low, you want to actually skip all these nodes that increase your damage. Now, if we were using something else, like the bolt gun, which has a high base damage, or even the plasma gun, which has an insanely high base damage, like the base damage is this, where it says hip fire and braced, those are the base damages. That's what base damage means. Where was the build? Oh yeah. So whenever you see a talent that says base damage increase, it means it's increasing only this, where it says what the weapon does. But whenever you see a talent that says this, just plus 30% weak spot damage, or plus 10% range damage, that means when you combine this and this and this or this, all of these combine together and amplify each other, while this only amplifies the base damage of the weapon. And because you have such a low base damage on this weapon, you actually want to skip all of these. You don't need them. It's much better to just have a more supportive build. Now, let me explain further about the build. So, why this, you probably ask? Well, I actually noticed something very interesting. When you have this talent point, which gives you ranged cleave, it allows your bullets of this weapon to pass through units and hit the unit behind him, see? I'm hitting this guy, but I'm also hitting the trapper behind him. And this also applies the burn, so if I crit, it's gonna burn the trapper as well, even though I was actually hitting this guy. Now, this works only with the Mark 14. It doesn't work with this one, sadly. And it doesn't work with this one either. Wait, I actually haven't tested this one. Let me just check real quick. Okay, it does work. With this one, it does work. But you don't want this one. This is dog shit. It has no benefits at all. Because it has a lower base damage, even lower than this, and it has lower ammo, so you don't want to use that. It's dog shit. So, yeah. So now, you basically have a Psyker Flame Staff. Because you're hitting all of these guys at the same time. And applying burn to them, or all of these guys at the same time. The only time the bullets don't pass is when you're hitting this guy. What? Yeah, when you're hitting this guy, they don't pass. When you're hitting this guy, they don't pass. They don't pass with this guy. They don't pass through this guy as well. They do pass through this guy. And maybe through this guy? Yeah, no. Yeah, wait. Let me just kill him and to make sure. But I don't think they pass through this guy either. Yeah, they don't. But through most other mobs, including the Ragers, which is really good, that they do pass through them, they pass through them and you apply burn to everything and kill everything that is behind them. So it's pretty nasty build. So yeah, like I said, you just use the Recon Lasgun to kill anything, including these trash mobs. And you're going to be fine with the ammo, and your team can take all of the ammo instead of you. As long as you are keeping what I said about reloading, shooting when you have stamina only. Well, mostly, because it's not always possible, but mostly. And yeah, that's it. And you're never going to worry about ammo. So now, why did I take Focus Target? The reason why I took Focus Target is because Focus Target, again, boosts your whole team's damage. So let's imagine this is a boss. Well, I've just boosted everyone, including my damage, by 30%, which is insane. So it's their damage, including all of these possible keystones that they have on their classes that boost their damage. And on top of that, you're boosting their damage by another 30%. And if you combine it with this, you'll be boosting them with another 15%. And this also applies to your frag grenades. So, I mean, your crack grenades. So, whenever you mark a target like this and throw the crack grenade at him, it will boost the damage of the crack grenade. And if you manage to also combine it with this, so let's say you kill this Crusher while he's tagged, and then you switch towards the boss after you get 6 stacks, and you throw your nade, then your nade will be ultra boosted and deal an insane amount of damage to the boss as well. So I think that's pretty much all the build there is to explain. And you're extremely mobile with this build. You're extremely fast with this weapon moving around. And you have an extreme amount of stamina. So generally you should have no trouble running away from anything, kiting stuff and stuff like that. Whenever you got like lots of these shotgunners, what you want to do is slide to the side and keep shooting them, so something like this. And you can even remain on the ground like this for a second or two, and they will not be able to hit you. It will still count as if you're dodging, and they will not be able to hit you. So you just do this to them, and again this to them, and they will not be able to hit you, and you'll be able to mow them down slowly with your burn and bullet penetration. So I think that's all. And obviously you're supposed to spam this whenever you can. Alright, and the most fun part. So as you can see here, I've put Toughness Regeneration Speed on all of these trinkets. Now the reason for that is because this is extremely OP. It reduces 50% of the damage as long as you are above 75% toughness. And that's why you have these Toughness Regeneration Speed modifiers on your curios, on all of them. Because whenever you're in coherency with your team and you take some kind of damage, you will notice that thanks to these Toughness Regeneration Speed modifiers on your curios, your toughness will start regenerating extremely fast just because you are in coherency with your team. And this will allow you to basically always have this little talent active for you, saving your life. You can literally tank a pox burster to the face as long as that's the only damage you're taking, and you will survive it with little to none health damage because of this Iron Will trinket here, passive. Now, I really wish I could also take this Born Leader perk, but I for now have not found something that I would like to remove from the build. You could try removing this. So you can take this, but then you're gonna become extremely squishy. This passive here is extremely strong because combined with 25 damage resistance from gunners on this curio, you have 50% damage reduction whenever one of these guys is shooting at you. Which means you basically can just stand in one place and keep getting shot by this guy while returning fire to him and returning fire to his friends as well, while they're all shooting at you. And as long as you have this stacked up, then you will be taking almost no toughness damage, especially if you're above 75% toughness. Because that's another 50%, and that's 100% toughness damage reduction whenever these guys are shooting at you, which allows you to be extremely supportive for your team, because most cases, most teams struggle exactly with these guys shooting at you. And now you can actually tank them. You can actually go in front of your team and start shooting these guys, and they'll be shooting at you, but they'll be dealing no damage. Especially if you have Voice of Command, where you now have Golden Toughness, which is extremely hard to break by itself, but is also modified by this, giving you another 50%, and this another 30%, and like I said, the curio for another 20. So you become extremely tanky. Like you can be getting shot by so many of these guys at the same time, and if you have Golden Toughness, you're gonna be taking 0 damage. So you can be very supportive for your team by tanking all the ranged damage that's coming at your team and killing all the ranged units at the same time. So you basically you particularly don't need the Psyker Shield for yourself. Your team needs it, and you don't need smokes, and you can take cracks thanks to this insane toughness damage reduction. Like I said, you can try. I'm actually tempted to try, and I will try it. I'll try it in a game and see if it works well. But generally, I advise you take this so you become very tanky. Because this toughness damage reduction also counts whenever you get melee hit as well. So, oh yeah, and one final part. Covering fire. This is so good, especially with this weapon that allows you to kill and shoot non-stop. Covering fire means that you'll be giving 15 toughness replenishment and 15% to all base damage to everyone close to the target you killed, basically non-stop. Because let's imagine your team is in front of one of these hordes and you're shooting them and you're killing them. You are proccing this talent. You're giving them 15 toughness, percent toughness replenishment and 15 base damage each time you kill one of these. You are basically the healer of the team with this build. And now I'm also going to try running Born Leader, which will allow me again to give them more toughness regeneration from this. And I guess that's all. Oh yeah, and also from the toughness regeneration spirit from these trinkets as well. I guess that'll transfer to your team as well. But I feel like that's not really worth it. You being tanky is much more worth it. So that's the whole build. Enjoy supporting your team and have a nice one.